Hello and welcome everyone. Here's a new Revit session. This session is more as a beginnery Revit session. We're going to continue talking about the different types of walls, such as curtain walls, and also we're going to discuss the modify tools, and also doors and windows, and how to create floor as well. So let's start by deleting this wall here, and then I will create a new wall. But this time I will extend this wall a little bit like that. So let's say while you're drawing, you want to trim this part, or you want to cut and remove this part and only keep this part. So what shall I do? If I go to modify here, there's an option called trim. So as you can see here, trim is doing trim and extend, and we're going to discuss that. The shortcut for trim, as we mentioned before, is most of the time the first two letters, which is TR. So if I type TR now, and then I select this wall that I want to trim with the one that's intersecting it here. So it's gonna remove this part. But let's say that you are having a wall here. So let's do that again now. So let me delete this part, for instance, okay? And then you want to have another wall here. So let me add a wall here, add something like that here. And I want to extend this to this one. So if I also type again TR and select this one, it will extend it. Is that clear? So let's say that I will create a wall here, and I want to trim this part, okay? So let's say that I want to trim only this part. So if I select this one here, and then select this side, and then select this one, so I'm gonna trim this part. So if I want to trim it just from one side like that, and it's intersecting with two walls like this, I will choose this third option in trim. So it's trim and extend multiple elements. So this is really important. So we discussed trim now, the difference between the trim type, and trim here is a bit different than the AutoCAD one because it's doing trim and extend at the same time. Okay, so let's move to another thing, and another modifier that we're gonna use quite a lot as well is called split, which means that I want to cut a certain part of this wall. So let's say that you are having kind of a curtain wall facade, or kind of a different wall material at a certain point, and you want to cut this wall to make it a little bit different. So there's an option called split. The shortcut for that is SL. You could also get split from here. You could also get split from here. As you can see, split element. But the shortcut for that, as I mentioned, is SL. So if I type SL now, and then let me split this part. So that means that this is part of the wall is splitted. I could go here and change the type of the wall if I want to. So let's also discuss curtain wall now. So if I just select curtain wall empty, this would be changed into a curtain wall. But let me do a Control Z, then select this one, and then go to the south elevation from here. Okay? Let me change that to maybe realistic for you to see that. Okay, so let's say that I could also make it shaded, might be better. So if I change that now, and let me do that here, so it's gonna be clear that this is the part that I split. So if I change that now to a curtain wall, or before changing that to a curtain wall, let's say that you want to split the wall from the elevation. So you want not only this whole wall to be a glass facade, but you want only this part here to be a glass facade. So if I go again to split, okay, and then I just split it from this part, and then split it maybe from this part like that, and then do this here, then maybe do this here. So as you can see, I could just split this part of the wall to change it to a curtain wall. So if I go now and change that to curtain wall empty, okay, so as you can see now, this is a curtain wall. Let me change that to realistic. Okay, and then let's say that you want to add some mullions in here. So if I go to architecture, you will find here something called curtain system, and you will find something called curtain grid. And this is really, really important. So let's show you curtain grid, curtain system. This is not gonna work here at all. We're gonna use that in different things. So this is mainly for massing. So don't get confused with this one. So I will just click skip. And then if I go back to curtain grid, this is the one that we're gonna use now. So if I, first of all, I need to create a grid to create my mullion. So if I click on curtain grid, and then I will start to create my grid. So I could basically start by creating my grid like that. Okay, so let's say that I'm having grid like this, and then I want to add more in here. Another one maybe here. Yep. Okay, so let's say that I want to change this into mullions. What can I do now? I can go to mullions, and then I could basically do grid by grid like this to change that to mullions. Also, I could select only small parts. So if I want to select only this part to a mullion, I could do that from here. But if I want to change that just in one click to a grid system or mullion system, I will just click on all grids and then select this. So I created my grid system. So if I go now to the 3D here, you can see that I created my mullion system. If you want to change your mullion type, you could go here, go to edit type. So let's say that I want to change that to a smaller one. So I could just go here, change that to a smaller one. But if I want to change them all, I could go to edit type. So if I just go here, edit type, and then change them. So if I want to change, let's say the width and the radius, I could go here, change that to 0.015, for instance, and then also this one 0.015. So now you will find that they're all changed. Is that clear? You also have different types as well, as I mentioned. So if you want to change them to a different type, you could go here and then choose different one from here, but this will change only one. If you want to go here and change that to radius, you could do that. If you want to select them all, so you could go to one of these, and then from here select all instance visible in view. Just a second, sorry. So I need to select it first. So let me go and select it like that. And then if I go here, select all instance visible in view, and then I go here to no, just let me do Control Z. Yeah. So if I just select it now, okay, and then I go here and select all instance visible in view, okay, and then I go here to radius one, I will change them all also by one click. I hope that's clear. So so now let's say that you want to create a new glass facade like this one. For instance, you want to change to a glass facade. So what you need to do is that you could go here, choose one of these systems. So let's say that I will create this time curtain wall empty. Okay, as you can see here, you could go here and then you go to edit type. All right, and then also you could play within the functions in here, like the horizontal grid and the vertical mullions, and I will show you that in a second now. So let's say that you want to create a system in here as well without actually doing the same thing that we were doing, like creating a grid and then changing the grid into mullions. So how can you do that? So if I just go here and then first of all, go down to the vertical mullions and then add, let's say, 25 centimeter, 25 centimeter, 25 centimeter, and then go here as well, 25 centimeter, 25 centimeter, 25 centimeter. But the most important thing is to change this parameters, which is the vertical grid layout. So you could change that to a fixed distance if you want to. So if you want to make the distance between them 2 meters, for instance, you go here, change that to 2 meters or 1.5. So let's say I'm going to change that to 2 meters. And then here as well, I'm going to change that into, let's say, also 2 meters. So you could change that by fixed distance. Also, you have fixed numbers. So if you want to have a certain number, you could also have a fixed number or maximum spacing or minimum spacing to write down. So in this case, I just select fixed distance, and then I will also change that to 2 meters. If I press OK now, okay, give it a second, it created my grid, as you can see here. Okay. And then let's say that you want to add a door in here. This is really important. So let's say that you want to add a door in this curtain system, or you want to change one of the panels in here to be like a solid panel, and then the rest are glass panels. So let's change first one of them to be a solid panel, and then I will show you how to add a curtain wall door in here, which is like a glass door or something. So if I come with my cursor really close to one of the mullions, and then I start to click on tab key till I just select the panel itself. And then once I select the panel, I go to the property panel in here. And then if I want to change that to solid, I could just go select solid. And then if I want to add material to it, I could go to edit type, as we did with the wall before. And then you go to material, select on here, and then add a material. So let's say that you want to add any material, you could go and add a material. So let's say I will just make this copper for now, just to show you that. Okay. And then material is added. Is that clear? So just to make sure, how could you do that? So you just go with your cursor near to one of the mullions, and then start pressing the tab key till it highlighted blue on the panel, as you can see that. Then you click with your mouse, and then you go to the property panel from here, and then you select solid, and then you go to edit type, and then you go to material and change the material to the material that you want. Okay. So let's move forward and try to add a door in here. So to add a door, I will do the same thing. So first of all, I need to go with my cursor quite close to one of the panels, and I need to go select the panel that I want to. So I need to try to select this panel. Yep. So I select now this panel. And then if I select this panel, I need to add my door here. So my door will be appearing here. So instead of selecting a solid one or a glazed one, I will select my door. So that means I need to add a door in my library on Revit. And to add a door, that means that I need to go to Insert, and I need to load family. So if I go to Insert now, so from here, I need to go to Insert, and then I need to go to Load Family. And then I need to go to my Revit library. So I need to go to my Revit library, metric library, and then I will find here curtain panel. So let's go and see curtain wall panel. So curtain wall panels, I need to click on that. And then if I just click once, I will just having the preview thing on the side. So I need to add a double, maybe a glass door like this one or different ones. So I'm just showing you what I have got so far. So let's say that I want to add this one, for instance. So I will just click on that one. If I want to add more than one, I could click on my control key and then add more than one in here. And then if I click open, it would be loaded to my family in a second now. It'll be loaded now. Just give it a moment. Yep. Okay, so I need to go back now. Click on that one. If I go here now, as you can see, I have my doors in here. So I could select any of these doors. So let's say that I want to select this one. So now this door is added. As you can see, I want to, if I want to rotate the door 180 degrees to flip it, I would just click on it and then click on the space bar. Okay, that clear? Okay, so now I added my door. So let's go back to level 0 just to show you how could you start adding your floor. So the floor is quite simple and easy. So you need just to go to architecture and then you need to click on floor, okay? And then you need to draw your floor on the floor plan. So let's say that you want to draw your floor of level 0. You have to go to level 0 and draw your floor in level 0. And the only thing about floor, make sure that it's closed polygon, because if it's not like a closed shape, you will see that there's an error just happening and you couldn't create the floor. So there are different ways of drawing the floor, of course. You could just pick wall. So if I click on pick wall, for instance, if I start click on pick wall, as you can see, and then here I want to connect this one with this one, so I could just go trim, because trim is doing trim and extend, select this and select this. If this is not closed, so let's me just show you this. So if I just extend that a little bit further like that, okay, and I want to create my floor, you will find that there's an error message going on, as you can see here. So that means that I need to trim this part. So make sure that always when you're creating the floor that you're doing the right trim, because if this error happened, you might not quite sure what's going on, why I'm having this error. So just go here and then type TR again, and then trim this and trim the other sides, okay, and then click on finish floor, okay. Or you could just use the line tool, draw your floor, or you could pick line if you want to, but I would just recommend pick wall or pick line and draw your floor. Also, you could use these different options that we showed before, like for example, how to create an arc one. So if you want to create an arch or something, you could do that. So if you want to create just like, if you're having like a, I don't know, like a curved floor or something, so you might need to use the arc element in here as well, or the pick line if you're already having your walls, I mean, like curved walls, so you could just pick line or pick wall and it automatically create this line as a curved line. So let's now finish edit mode. And then if I go to the 3D now, I'm having my floor. You could also play around this by selecting the floor itself and then go to the different types of floor, very similar to the one that we mentioned. So you have different types of floor here. So there are different types of floors. Or you could create your own one. So you could start with a simple one like that, go to edit type, and then create your own floor by clicking on duplicate, give it a name, like floor 1, for instance. Okay, go to click on preview just to see the floor, and then go to edit structure and then add your layers. Okay, this might be the thickness, might be the finish, so feel free to add your layers, the same thing that we just explained while we are doing the wall edit type as well. So if I just click on OK now, you don't need to do that again now. And then what I want to show you is how could I start adding um, kind of windows, which might be also important for you. So let's say that you're not creating a curtain wall facade or something and you want to add just windows. How can I do that? So let's change that to, yeah, if you want to flip the wall to the other side, you know, remember when I was creating this wall, I just added plaster or paint. So if you want the plaster and paint to be in the inside one, you just click on the bar key or the space key. Okay, guys. So now let's start adding doors and windows. So it's very similar to the way that I just added this door. So what I need to do is that I need to go to door, from here, which is the shortcut for a door, which is DR, or a window, which is WN. But let's start by a door. So if I just want to add a door in here, for instance, I just added a door. And if I want to load more doors, so there are certain limited door types in here, but if I want to add more doors, so I need to go to load family and then select on doors in my metric library. So I find a big folder called doors. So you find different types of doors in here. You could just choose the door that you like and then add it to your door family. Okay, guys. So let me add some of these doors. Let me add a couple of doors in here. So if I click now on one of these doors, you will find that you're having a big list of different doors. So if I change this to single door like that, and then if you go to edit type, if you want to duplicate this door, so you could keep this door and you don't play with this dimension or with material, and you want to create a copy of that door, so you need to click on duplicate and then rename the door. And then after that, start changing its dimension or its material, up to you guys. So you're having here the width, of course, and the height and everything related to that. So you could just play around this. So in this case, this door is 2.1 meters. And the width of this door as well is 1 meter. So if you want to change that, you could just change that in here. Also with the material, feel free if you want to change any of these materials as well. So this is, I think this is all for doors. So you need to know how to load the door, how to change its dimension and its material. And then once you're happy with that, you just click OK. So yeah, that's all for doors. Now, if I want to do the same thing with windows, it's kind of similar. So all you need to do is that you go to window from here or type WN, and then you will also have one window. So you could add your windows, of course, from a floor plan or from the elevation or from the 3D, whatever you want. I would prefer doing that from the floor plan. So if I want to add my window here, just type WN and then, WN, and then I will start to add my windows. So let's say that you want to add your windows. You want to add another window here. You want to add another window here. If I just go and select on one of these windows and then go to edit type and then change this one. For instance, I change the width or the height, it's gonna change them all. But if I want only to change this one here, so I need to duplicate that. And I will show you that in a second. So let's say that I want to change the width of this one to be 1.5 meters. Okay, and then I press OK. So all of them are gonna be changed to 1.5 meter. But let's say that I want only to change this one into 1.2 meters. So if I go again to edit type and then I just duplicate that, okay, and then I go here to width and then I change that into 1.2 meters and then I press OK. So only this one changed to 1.2 meter. And then let's say that you want to add more windows. It's going to be the same thing that we did just for doors. So what I will do, I will go to load family here and then choose windows from my metric library. So you will find windows and then choose the windows that you like to load, or load more than one by pressing the control key. So let's say that I want to select another window now. So let's say that I want to select this window and I click on open. Okay. And then I want to add this window. I'll just go here and then add this window. Okay, if you want to flip the window, you could just go here, select on the window, select on this arrow key, and flip it, or using the space bar will also do the same thing. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope it's useful. If you want to go to the 3D and just check it again, so is here. So I hope this is useful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and see you in the next tutorial. Thank you so much.